issues with, go down, okay? There's a kind of a pocket, a ball that you always want to stay in. You want to stay in the ball, no matter if you're on top or bottom. You never really want to get yourself, your legs away from you, okay? So what's probably happening a lot of times, what type of pass are people passing on you?
It's like when I get here to the closed guard.
Let's just forget about the closed guard, because, I mean, like, right here, okay? Submit me from your closed guard. But you have to open your guard, though, to submit stuff. So, submit me from your closed guard. Without opening, you open your guard. That's an open guard, okay? You got your chokes, you know, okay? That's about all you can do. You got a couple chokes. The rest of it, you got to open up your guard, okay? So what passes are people hitting on you?
Just pressure, a lot of pressure on these slides. Yeah, exactly.
That and stuff.
Out,
okay. Okay. So let's say I pull your legs away from you. Okay. What would you do to stop? Okay. Sit up. Okay. But pull your legs. Put your legs. Fall back up. Okay. What's happening is that you're allowing yourself to get elongated, get really long. And then, if you look at the positions, okay, so if I'm in a close guard, if I'm in side control, if I'm in mount, all those positions are all the same thing. It's the ball. You know, you want to get used to staying in the ball up. You don't want to be long. You know, if I'm in side control on you, and I get, sprawled out like this, you're going to replace the guard like instantly. You know, so what you need to work on doing drills where you stay in the ball more. Okay, so here's a really good drill to do. This one, where you go roll, roll it. So come here. Okay, so like get a partner, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to take you, tip you over. I'm going to come up just like here, and then you're going to go right back. I'm going to take you here. And then I'm going to come right back. Here, and come right back. And you just keep doing that. And get used to staying in the ball. Balled up. Okay? Because if your arms even get away, then that's when you start getting submitted and stuff. And you're a really long guy, but you're light. And so you got to get used to getting balled up. That's why, like,
stay balled up to not get balled up?
Yeah, exactly. You know. Who's got good at slice passing? Anybody here? Anyone? You're good at slice passing? All right, perfect. Okay. So it's all good. I'm not judging you when you get it. Okay, so slice passing.
It's a knee size.
Oh. Okay, perfect. Okay. So right here, perfect. You did that. Okay. Now do it where you would actually pass them, because you wouldn't be able to pass them because you're too far away, too much space. Okay. Yeah, put some pressure in there. Pass my guard. Okay, perfect. You ain't pass my guard. You ain't pass my guard. You haven't passed my guard. You haven't passed my guard. Yeah. Now you're starting to get low. Okay. What you're missing on those passes is that you're way too far away. Okay. Low, slow, and tight. So if you're right on pass up, okay? You're right on that slice pass. But look, okay, so when you come here, boom, as soon as you shot that underhook, okay, and then you hit this overhook, then you're able to sit through the modified guard, and then right there. That's what you were missing on that. Is that you're too far away. And so for me to stop that, I didn't even have to do anything because you wouldn't have been able to pass. Because you were way too far away. Make sense? Yeah. So what's happening to you a lot is I call it the Chuck Liddell, right? Because Chuck Liddell, like, if you go back and watch his old fights, he was like, people, even if you took him down, you couldn't keep him down. There was no way. That's why in MMA now, a lot of people have realized that, like, that's why you don't see a lot of groundwork anymore. You know, because the wrestlers all figured out how to stand up and not get submitted. and you don't see a lot of good, clean jiu-jitsu anymore. So here's a drill, okay? So doesn't matter, overhook, underhook, stiff arm, but the drill is switching your hips, okay? And so you don't even need a partner, you know? Get used to switching your hips and coming up, okay? And then from there, if you like your guard, then you can replace and all of that stuff. So a board like, I started realizing it in about, it was like 2003, I started seeing that guys they were getting their guards passed, but they would go to the turtle, they'd get up the turtle, and then they would go back to the guard, and then no points would ever be exchanged. But I was like, it took me a while, you know, I was like, well, why are these guys just turtling up? Because now you're giving them the back, you know? But what they were doing is they were playing the game of, all right, if I turtle up, they don't get the points because they didn't get the hooks in, then I can work myself back to the guard and stuff, if you like, prefer being on the ball, okay? So you would be better turtling up and balling up than letting someone just side control it, because to me, side control is the worst position, like the best offensive position in jiu-jitsu, you know? I mean, if we for striking, I got great knees to the head. I think it's better than not. You know, there's more submissions from side control. So you would be better giving up if they go to pass, balling up, going to the turtle, and then work yourself. Here's the drill to get, so go turtle, right here. So all you're going to do is tuck this right here, and then just roll right over here, and go right back to the roll. And then here, I'm going to shoot you, I'm going to shoot you over to the turtle. No, don't be going inverted, dude. I'm going to shoot you to a turtle on that side. I come up here, you cut right off there, boom. Now I'm going to turtle you that way, there. And then just keep doing that drill. So like, at any time, you could just turtle up and then get back to your guard.
So it's just like you do the tongue up and roll them out.
Yeah, that's all you're doing is the side that, so go to the turtle. So the side that you're on, where they're at, you tuck that one right here, and then just go whoop, and put yourself right there. That's all it is, okay? So it doesn't matter what pass I'm doing, if I'm stack passing, slice passing, smashing, whatever, I go to pass, boom, turtle up, good. Now then tuck, go right back to your guard, okay? So give up the position. This is what I used to do, because big dudes, you know, they stack, they smash you, they bring you up, and they crush you. So what I got to do was, I might as well use the big man. So don't hurt me, big man. Strong guy. So they come underneath, and so what I used to do is right here, you know, you're like fighting, resisting, you're trying to triangle their head, and so I said, you know what? All I gotta do, just let them pass, okay? So do it, pass. And as soon as I hit right here, then I was going, right back in. I'm like, why even waste the energy to stop him? He's gonna get past. All I do is I just let my leg drop, boom, okay? We'll do it one more time, I'll just show you.
Yes, sir.
Okay? So I just let the leg hit the ground, I'll shoot myself right back there. I don't even have to worry about like resisting, you know? It's like you're putting all that energy into trying to stop him when it would have been easier just to replace guard. Just let him pass and you replace. He didn't get no points. He has to control the position. And as soon as I let that leg drop, so come here. So go down. So let's say I was here. So as soon as that leg hits the ground, boom, just shoot. That's just like that drill. Just shoot yourself through, boom, replace your guard. Boom, right there. Okay, so turtling up, you know, sometimes it's just let them get past and then just get good at replacing guard. Yeah, and don't let yourself get so long, because your long guard, you ball up, you know, keep yourself, you know. So if I pull your legs, then you sit up. My arm extended, you know, realize what you're doing, extending your arm, you know, you're going to, you know, okay? Does that make sense? All that, you know? That's what's happening to you, is that it has nothing to do with strength. We all know that there's little 130 pounders that will submit. I mean, to me, the best guy out there was Murrieta Garcia, and he was 165 pounds, and the guy was amazing. You know, you go back and watch his match with Rico Rodriguez. What's up, my man?
So I have a question. So basically, the turtle can be used for a reset.
I use it as a resetting position, a restarting position. Yeah, I mean you can attack from it. There is attacks, but if you look at it as
If you're getting tapped.
jiu-jitsu for sport or jiu-jitsu for self-defense, two different things. Okay, jiu-jitsu for self-defense. Man, that turtle, shoot, you can get soccer kicked, you can get stomped, all that stuff. But if we're looking at it as the sport of jiu-jitsu, it's a great resetting position. Because if you watch MMA now, almost everybody's standing up from giving their back. Come here. Okay, so they're giving their back and then just stand up. Boom, and they're doing who wrestles in here? Okay, perfect. Okay. So let's go, referee, and I'll do it right here, and then just do a stand up. Boom, and that's what they're doing now. Everybody's realized that, like, all I gotta do is just do a wrestling stand up. And so I'm just hand fighting, and you watch, dude, like on the ground, everybody's giving up their back and just standing up on you, and all they gotta watch for, we're gonna make a choke, you know?
Some pepper shot.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm hand fighting, okay, perfect, I'm glad you brought that up, okay? Go down. Okay, right here. If I punch you, what do I have to do? I have to go here. So I'm not controlling you anymore, okay? So I can either hold you or hit you. There's very few positions where I can hold and hit. Anybody know what? Crucifix, perfect. My big country does. Side control crucifix, a holding, hitting position. Boom, I can hold and hit you. That's one of the few places where I can hold and hit. So either I'm punching or I'm holding, control, okay? So yes, what we were talking about was using the turtle as a restarting position is a great thing. And if you watch an MMA, it's very successful. Everybody's giving up their backs to get up.
So if you go to turtle, you want to reset. You want to get back in the guard.
No, not necessarily. Are you a top player or are you a bottom player? You.
For me, I like them both, to be honest with you.
Okay. Okay. Let's just say you said I'm a top player. Well, then you wouldn't want to go to your guard. Okay. So what I came up with when I was
I mean, I suck at both.
Me too. I'm just learning it myself. So, but what I realized was that when I was competing against people, I was like, man, jiu-jitsu guys, they have amazing guard. I had wrestling, I'd take them down, I'd get in their guard, and that was a terrible place, that was a terrible idea. And then wrestlers, they don't get on top of you, and then it's like, man, I can't take you down. But if I could put you on your back, then it was a really good place. So if I'm competing, okay, and I was competing, let's say against Diego here, okay, and I watched him roll the match before, okay, he likes to play his guard, okay, he's a guard player. Well, I'm not going to go into his guard, okay, because that's the dangerous place to go. You don't want to play them in their strength. You know, you don't want to play where they're the best at. I put jiu-jitsu guys on top of me and wrestlers on their back, okay? But how can you out-wrestle a wrestler? Let's say you can't sweep him and you can't take him down. So how are you going to get that guy to his back? And that's what I came up with when I came here, Diego, is what I started realizing is that if I turtled up on him, okay, a lot of people jump the back. Does everybody understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they try to jump to get onto the back. And so what I would do is I would open my one leg up, so I would have this leg kind of posted out. So I post the one leg out like that, so that they could get the one hook in. And then as soon as they went to go jump the back, then I would just pull them right off. Like, here's a wrestler, I just turtle up on you. I just turtle up on you, and as soon as you went to take my back, I'd pull you, and then I was on top of you. Now I'm on top of you. I didn't have to sweep you, and I didn't have to waste the energy to take you down. Does that make sense? So I put the wrestler on his back, so I came up with a series of moves to put a wrestler on his back, because not all wrestlers had a guard, you know. That's a dangerous person if they can wrestle and they got a guard, you know. So I try to put a wrestler on his back and a jiu-jitsu guy on top of him. Because, you know, most of your jiu-jitsu guys, when you're in the lower levels, not disrespecting any belt, but at the lower levels, usually you'll have one that you're better at top or bottom. Depending on if you come from a wrestling background, you probably naturally went to the top. You know, if you went, and then if you went from, if you're smaller and just starting, you never trained before, you're probably on your back a lot, because everybody keeps putting you on your back so your guard gets good. Okay? So it just matters for that turtle position, what I'm going to do. I like to, if I'm going with a wrestler, I'm probably going to try to use it to put him on his back. And then if I'm going with a jiu-jitsu guy, I'm probably going to replace my guard and play my guard. Yeah, because I don't want to go to their guard. I don't want to play around in their guard. I'm finding out how good my defense is. You know what I mean? So the strategy of the turtle position will depend against your opponent. You know, at any time you could just stand up. I mean, you could use the turtle position just to stand up if you wanted to. All you gotta do is just control the hands, watch the hands, stand up, boom, break away, and then, you know, reset if you're using it for that type of position. You know, so it just matters what you know, who you're going against, what are the rules, and all that stuff. But the turtle is a great resetting position. Eduardo, tell us, yeah, amazing turtle stuff, amazing. His jiu-jitsu game, some of the stuff he does is amazing. He's got some amazing stuff. You guys go up, check him out. Everybody know who he's talking about? He's 99 jiu-jitsu, not Joe, but who Joe is under. Eduardo Tellis is in San Diego now, and he kind of was like, when I met him, I thought he was going to be older, because when I started jiu-jitsu back in '98, everybody was already talking about it. So I assumed that he was going to be an older guy, because he had like like everybody, oh, Eduardo, tell us this stuff, blah, 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 blah. And then I met him, I was like, oh, wow, okay. You know, I assumed that he was older, but look him up, he's got some amazing stuff, but he does a lot of stuff that's like he turtles up. He'll do stuff that not conventional, you know? Like he'll almost like think of like I was going forward, and then he would be like almost playing in reverse. I can't emulate his game because I've never trained with him, but I watched a lot of his stuff, and he's got some amazing stuff, you know? YouTube is a great place to learn moves. How I taught myself so many moves was, you know, back then when I started, there wasn't really YouTube. There wasn't. I mean, you could buy a video. I got the Gracie, the original. It was like, you know which book I'm talking about. They had the three of them on it. But I had a lot of self-defense stuff. They had, it was amazing. Okay, so what I would do is I would open up the book, and I'd go, okay. My instructor, whoever I'm training with, can only show, like you basically, like, your instructor probably shows about 1/10 of what he actually knows, because we have to keep starting over. You know, there's a guard pass, here's some mountain defense, here's this, and so we just continue, we just go through the series of about 10 different moves, over and over and over and over and over and over in these drills. And you don't really get to go through the whole gamut of jiu-jitsu. So you have to teach yourself moves, okay? And so what I would do was, so I'd get the book, I'd open it up, and I would find a move that I thought would work for my body type and my game. And I would go in, and I'd go drill, you know, so we do our class. Either I'd show up earlier, I'd stay after, and I'd just grab some buddy, But like, okay. As we all know, there's a lot of egos in the sport. I mean, it's a male-dominant sport, and there's a lot of egos. And so, let's say, if you go back and you watch a lot of old MMA, you'll see like who was the alpha male in the room, and because all of a sudden, like let's say, I don't even want to throw a name out there because I don't want to disrespect anybody, but just take somebody that was a UFC champion or a dominant person, okay? And like here are two perfect examples. If you actually go watch Matt Hughes and Tito Ortiz roll, they both have beautiful jiu-jitsu. And because they let their ego go, okay? So let's say we're rolling, okay, and he's a higher belt than me, okay? And so I'm a white belt, he's a blue belt. I get past and I tap him now, okay? And so I'm feeling good. Yeah, man, I deserve a blue belt now. I just tapped out a blue belt. I deserve a blue belt now, okay? You know? I just tore it up. Yeah, buddy. So you caught a higher level guy. Cool, awesome, amazing, okay? Well, what I started to realize was that watching through MMA, that the alpha male in the room didn't have the best defense. Like he didn't know, a lot of these guys didn't know what to do if someone not mounted them. They didn't know what to do if someone took their back because they didn't have nobody in the room to do it, and their ego was so big that they wouldn't let people get in those positions, okay? So what I started realizing that rather than, if you got an ego still, that's cool. I mean, we're all, you know, it is what it is, okay? But how I started to get to where I could get through all the positions is instead of starting guard all the time, okay, I'd be like, hey, I'm working on, these guys know, I'll let them just start mounting me because I need to work my mount defense. So if I get caught, then it ain't that big of a deal because I let you start mount. So like it protects everybody's ego. You know what I mean? So if you have a position that you're weak in, just have someone better than you, just keep starting in that position, and then all of a sudden you'll be good in that position. You know what I mean? And then nobody's ego gets hurt. Oh man, he tapped me and I'm higher. You gotta let all that go, you know? So go through every position and start letting people start like, very rare I would even say starting guard, you know? Me personally, I would never start knees. Like if we like get on our knees. Alright, ready? Roll. When you're gonna roll from here in a real environment of jiu-jitsu. When you ever gonna be knee to knee facing each other rolling? You know? So obviously starting standing would be ideal every time, but then we'd have a lot of injuries, you know, because the takedowns hurt. So start in real positions, but start having, like take your weakest, where you're the worst at, and have the person start there all the time. If you got people side pulling you all the time, you know what it is? It's not that you need to work on your close guard, you need to work on replacing. You know what I mean? It's not the close guard, it's not the problem. The problem is that you don't know how to replace your guard. Make sense? So that's someone just, you know what? I already know you're passing my guard, so start side control so I can learn how to get you back to guard, you know? Make sense? Yeah. It's just, so then you just start figuring out how do I get people back to the guard or back to a neutral position, you know? That it's not a guard issue, you know, it's a replacing issue. So that's what you gotta realize is that a lot of times you gotta see what the actual problem is, you know. It's like, well, show me arm bar, how to get out of an arm bar. Well, where'd you get arm bar? Mount. Well, they're in mount, aren't you? You know, you need to work on your mount defense, not your arm bar defense. It's not the arm bar is not the problem. That's the finish. That's the end. Yes, there are some arm bar defense. You know what the best way to get out of an arm bar? I can show you, it'll work out. Not unless you're going against Bruce Paul Harris, it'll work. This will work 100% of the time. Ready? Tap. Tap. There, you got an arm bar. There's your best way to get out of an arm bar. Tap out. Yeah. Just tap out. Dude, you know, unless you're going against Paul Harris, that's gonna work. Okay?
Can I just make one interjection?
What you can say we're at freestyle, so
Yeah,
say whatever you
this
want.
is what I learned as everybody here that's well here has caught me once, is that I've learned that you have to, there's a difference between being competitive
Yeah.
and having an ego.
Yeah.
I think that's when that comes with time,
Time on the mat.
time on
for
the
sure.
mat that you realize that, like we don't fight, obviously. Anybody who inspires to do it, I fight with us, we don't fight each other. We compete against each other.
Yeah,
We have
this
to,
is not a fight.
but we're not fighting against each
Yeah.
other. And because everybody's here has a competitive drive. That's
Sure.
why we're here.
That's why we're here.
Competitors.
Uh-huh.
But it's learning how to temper your ego
For sure.
versus being a competitive person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And some people, because if you be competitive, I asked Carlson, I said, what's the best? I said, how can I be the best? When the first master, how can I be the best jiu-jitsu person? Make my jiu-jitsu. He said, well, there's two things you got to learn as a champion. If you want to be a champion, you got to learn how to win, and you got to learn how to lose as a champion.
Yeah.
So that's why I learned a lot of people when they lose, they disappear. Or they.
Dude, it's I don't know. Everybody's different. Everybody has a different mentality of this. To me, Stan's actually been training longer than me, and the reason why he's been able to train so long and continue and started in the 90s and still trains right now is because he doesn't go that hard.
Yeah.
You don't have to roll that hard all that time. That's how you're always gonna. If you wanna, if your goal is to be a world champion or whatever, then that's cool. But the problem is that the one Mendez brother at 26 years old just said he retired from competing because to go that hard. I mean, dude, it's like at 20. That's the age I retired from. To me, it's not really retired because MMA was a career for me. But the age that I stopped competing at MMA was 25 because, to compete at that level, man, you gotta go hard. And then if you want to stay in this for longevity, you can't go that hard. I got two brown belts, same age. One's always injured, one's almost never injured, and they both started at the same time. Yeah, he's the one that's here and he's not injured, The other one wants to go hard all the time. It's like a battle every time you roll them. These guys will tell you, dude. It's like, damn, gotta go in there, man, so get it out. But he's always injured because he's going so hard. You don't have to go that hard. Yeah. So, but that was a good point, Scott. I like what you said. I agree with it all. That you gotta look at it. Are you training for competing? Are you training to learn the knowledge of the ground? This isn't jiu-jitsu. This isn't wrestling. This isn't judo. The title doesn't matter. It's grappling. It's ground fighting. It doesn't matter if it's sambo. It's all the same. Just the ground techniques. So it does if I show you a move, it doesn't matter if I want to call it a wrestling move or if I want to call it a Brazilian jiu-jitsu move. The move, it's a ground fight. You gotta learn the whole gamut of it. Okay. Let's actually. That was some really good theory and talking. Let's start playing with some moves now and stuff. Does that make sense?
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Hopefully some of that.
Try to replace it.
Yeah. Start replacing, working on your side control defense and stuff. My coach has actually got some amazing. My coach is Javier Vasquez. If you type in SES, Side Control Escape Series, he's got some amazing side control escapes. And look up some of his stuff. And he's got a lot of stuff on YouTube. And work on replacing your card. I think that's really what the problem is that you don't have any side control escapes. It's not a guard problem. Because once you start adding all the pieces in, it's A, B, C, D. You got all these different pieces, and you have to like hit a little here, and then it starts to all come together. You know, like if it was your very first day of jiu-jitsu and you come in and I'm like, all right, what do you guys want to work on? And someone goes, armbar from mount. How the hell are you going to be mounted on somebody? It's your first day. Yeah, it's a great technique, and you can learn how to defend it because somebody is going to be mounted on you. You know, so you gotta. There's a lot of pieces of the puzzle, and so let's take something like me personally. I won't ever put myself in like a deep path, okay? But I would still learn it though. Why? Because someone's going to do it to me. Okay? So a lot of these positions, a lot of this stuff, like if we had a book right here, we opened it up and it was like, take something like Baron Bolo or some of these like crazy moves and techniques and stuff. You'd be like, dude, never in my lifetime could I put myself in that. Okay, rubber guard. I can't rubber guard anybody. Because the moment I pull my knee pops out. So but I still need to at least, here's the thing though that a lot of people don't realize, it's mobility, not flexibility. You don't need flexibility for jiu-jitsu. You need to be mobile. So a lot of it's your ankles. So like take a position like, I'm not a rubber guard guy. You know, I respect it because it's amazing stuff. Okay, so but I can't, like, I pop my knees up. I got really bad knees, okay? But if I want to get to this position, because it's a great omoplata position, a great triangling position, that's all I had to do was the ankle. The ankle is, so it's not that you needed to be flexible, you needed to hit the right angle. And that's what a lot of people with their sweeping is, they have the sweep, but they're in the wrong angle. They don't have the right angle, is why their sweep's not working. So that's why you got people posting, boom, boom, boom. It's because you weren't in the right angle. Your angle was wrong, such as an armbar, okay? Such as an armbar. You know, I hit an armbar from guard, okay? It's like a slug right now, okay? Okay, so I hit an armbar from guard, let's say, boom. And I hit it right here. Okay, so I'm in a, oh, I crossed my feet. Oh no, they say don't cross your feet. If it works for you, it doesn't matter. It works for you. The cross my feet is great. Okay, so, but see how I'm flat on the ground? Now pull this arm out. Okay, it's going to be really hard for him to pull his arm out because I'm at the right angle. Okay, I'm flat on the ground. I'm not at an angle. Okay, so I'm going to do the same technique, same setup, everything, but I'm going to be at the wrong angle. Okay? Okay? See how I'm at this angle? Now it's going to be really easy for him to pull his arm out. Okay? So you got to realize what the angle of the technique is. So it's like, man, that armbar doesn't work for me. They just keep passing my guard. You got to, because you're probably at the wrong angle. You know, that sweep doesn't work for me. You gotta get all the details, you know. What I started to realize when I was learning jiu-jitsu is, like, let's say somebody would show me a move or a series. Let's just take something like a scissors sweep, okay? Man, can't get it. It doesn't work. Come back a year later, they show the exact same move, like,